in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain. Once you've gone, it was never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. It was the wicked and wild wind, blew down the doors to let me in, shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. Hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. You've been running around, throwing that dirt all on my name. 'Cause I knew that I'd call you up. You've been going around every party in LA. 'Cause you knew that I'd be at one. Oh, I know that dress is karma, perfume regret. You got me thinking about when you were mine. Oh, and now I'm all up on you. What you expect? But you're not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start.
Yep. What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Why don't young chefs like Bash for background music? I like everything as background music. I don't discriminate. I actually prefer classical music. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Matthew Mancuso from The Art of Eating, and I am with Butcherbox and Truffle Shuffle today. And we have an awesome seasonal recipe coming at you. It's super easy. This is a recipe that I like to keep for like, oopsie, forgot what's for dinner tonight, or maybe you need a quick lunch, or maybe you actually want to be responsible and think ahead and you're meal prepping these sort of things. All of these components, they all hold well in the fridge. We're going to go through them all as we are tackling them. But I'm going to take the first few minutes just to talk about myself for a moment. This is my first stream with Butcherbox and Truffle Shuffle. A lot of you may be seeing me for the first time. So I just want to give you a little bit more about who you're looking at for the next 20, 30 minutes, right? So my name is Matthew. I'm a graduate of the Culinary Institute of America. I am based in Westchester, New York. Most of my career was spent in New York, working throughout a few of the boroughs. I was between Brooklyn and Manhattan for a while. I've worked in Michelin star restaurants, Per Se, Le Bernardin, Blue Hill at Stone Barns. I was at for about 4 years. I've also worked at like country clubs, and I've done front of house for a little bit. So I've kind of held every position imaginable in a restaurant, both front and back of house. I've been in this industry for over 20 years. It's crazy when you say that out loud, how fast time actually has gone by. But now all of my endeavors and my accomplishments have brought me here to teach you guys how to cook. And to be honest, that's my real passion. That's what I really enjoy doing, is letting everybody know that you don't have to be a Michelin cook to make really, really impressive food. Just proper knowledge and education, and anybody can cook. So that's kind of what we're doing here, bridging the gap between restaurant and home cooking. So today we are going to be making a Southwest chicken salad. Let me show you what I got going on. So I have my mise en place. Mise en place is a term you're going to be hearing me use often. It means to put in place, which is a French term basically meaning to have everything ready at arm's reach, instead of like in the middle of your recipe, oh, I need garlic or I need this. And you find yourself going in and out of your cabinets and your refrigerator. Meanwhile, whatever on the stove is starting to overcook or whatever. Having everything ready at the availability to do so really makes cooking go seamlessly. So it's kind of important. This is my mise en place, right? So if you've already checked out today's recipe, a lot of these ingredients are going to make sense. I have my Butcherbox anything seasoning. I absolutely love this. I put it on anything. We got some cilantro, cherry tomatoes, lime, red onion, our corn, some black beans, avocado, lettuce, chicken. I also threw in a green onion, which is a little bit rogue. That's not on the recipe card, but it just makes sense in this recipe. So you can omit it. I'll be going through all of these ingredients individually, talking about them, and then also talking about if you don't like them, you can omit them or maybe use something else here. But without further ado, I would like to get started. I'm going to move my camera down just so you can see my board a little bit. Ooh, that's nice with all the mise en place here. So I have a chicken breast here, boneless, skinless, beautiful breast from Butcherbox. I'm going to be using a separate cutting board to protect my very nice wooden cutting board. So underneath a breast, you usually have the tenderloin, right? Sometimes that gets left with the chicken itself. Here, it was left. So I don't have anything underneath, but I do have this weird little tendon that I'm just going to literally carve out of here, just like that. So now we don't have any tendon, no like weird hard piece that will shrivel up and become, unpleasant to chew on later. Now, with your chicken breast, you can leave this whole if you'd like. I personally, I prefer grilling my chicken. Even if you don't have a grill outside, a grill pan, or even just a regular saute pan will work. But to help this chicken cook a little bit quicker, I'm just going to cut it up a little bit, right? So we're going to run our knife down the top, keeping even pressure on the top of the breast like this. Maybe it's better if you see it this way, right? Keeping even pressure on the top of the breast like this, and my knife is going this way, right? Being sure that my wrist and my forearm isn't low, we're high up here. So even if my knife does slip, I'm angling the knife down so it slips down. It doesn't slice up. You're making like a little sawing action, and it's pretty quick. It goes by pretty quick, pretty easy, right? All right. Also, something that I like to personally work with on my station is a garbage bowl. This way, again, I'm not constantly turning my back to go to my garbage behind me and moving all around. Being able to work in your own space for the entirety of your cook, it's crucial. It's important. So I'm going to transfer these breasts to a separate plate. Get rid of this and this. Give my hands a quick rinse. So we don't have any chicken on it. And then you want to generously coat your chicken in this everything seasoning. I love this seasoning. It's nice and coarse. It's great for poultry, especially, I've been finding. We've been using it a lot on pork loins and stuff. Yes. Just got everything you possibly need, right? A little garlic powder, onion powder, some granulated sugar in there, I believe. It's just good. It's good stuff. Right. So I got my chicken over here. Here, come on a little trip with me. Zoop. There we go. So I have a grill pan here, just set over medium heat. Going to be using a little bit of cooking spray. Pan's not quite hot yet. We're just going to give this a few seconds. And since we cut our chicken, this should take a little bit less in time. If you left this chicken whole, especially this Butcherbox beautiful big breast, it's probably going to take about maybe 5 to 7 minutes until you have a nice golden color on top. Let's go down with this chicken. Beautiful sizzling. That's a good sign, right? Make sure the chicken's not touching each other. You have ample space around your chicken so heat can kind of circulate. And also you're getting an even cook. Nothing's laying on top of each other, okay? Since we cut this size down, it'll probably only take 4 or 5 minutes total. 2 minutes or so on each side. That's all right. It's a perfect opportunity to dive into our other key components. Excellent. Excellent. So I got some cherry tomatoes here. Let's go in with this. Got some cherry tomatoes here. You can cut these however you'd like. Now, you got to remember something, right? When you're making salads, when you're making soups, anything like this, you want to keep in mind your fork, right? How is your guest or your company, whoever you're making this for, how are they going to be enjoying this? Are they going to be using a spoon? Are they going to be using a large spoon? Are they going to be using a fork? Are they going to be using chopsticks? So keeping that in mind is going to help you determine your cut size, your vegetable size, or whatever it is that you're making, to be a little bit more enjoyable and a little more comfortable as you're eating it yourself, right? So this is going to be for a salad. I'm going to have these just like so. I think that's plenty comfortable to go off of in a fork with a bunch of other vegetables. If you wanted to, you could quarter them, no problem. Either really works here. I'm going into a separate bowl over here to my left. But again, we're just going to half these up. Let me tilt the screen up a bit just in case you all have some questions I can read. Any tips if you're subbing chicken thighs? I would still keep it boneless and skinless, but no, there's really no difference in using chicken thighs or chicken breast on this recipe. Chicken thighs sometimes take a little bit longer to cook, not a problem. But no, other than that, the cook time may vary, but you could do all the same steps. Clean them up, rub them. You could brush them with a little bit of olive oil before you rub them as well. Whatever you like. I got an avocado here. We're going to cut this avocado down the middle. Be careful not to cut your hand. I like the old school axis way of doing this. Now you're left with 2 points, right? You can either take your knife to pop this out. Some people get a little bit nervous about that. Or you could just take your garbage bowl and push the back of it. That pit will fall right out. People like to complicate it. You really don't have to complicate it, okay? You want to hear something funny? I went to 3 different grocery stores today trying to find avocados, and I couldn't find any nice, good avocados. Lo and behold, I went to my deli. I said, hey, can I buy an avocado off you? Yeah, man, no problem. And look at this avocado. I can't believe how beautiful it was. All the ones at the stores were like rocks. How's my chicken looking? Chicken's looking good. We're going to give that a turn right after this avocado. So again, you can kind of cut this up any size or shape you want, but I'm keeping in mind, again, my finished product, right? My fork size. I think this is a nice, easy size for a fork. There you go. You can see it better. Let's take you back over here for a moment. So this is what I got going on, smoking up my kitchen. Just kidding. Beautiful. Some nice coloring on there. So like, if you can kind of see on this one, let me bring you a little closer, right? You can kind of see here, the outside is starting to get much white while the inside is still a little bit more opaque. That's when you know you're good to flip. If we had pink everywhere too far, I may wait just a little bit longer. But that's good business right there. All right. Next, I got a red onion. Going to take off some of the excess paper coating. Take off both the top and the bottom. Cut right down the axis like that. An onion has a top and a bottom. Can we see this? Yes. This is the top. This is the bottom. You see how the shape comes up? That's how it's growing. It's like a bulb, right? So, fun fact, if you were ever going to be eating an onion raw, onions can kind of be like a little like astringent, a little harsh, right, on the palate. You could rinse your red onions in a little bit of ice cold water for about 2 minutes, 60 seconds to 2 minutes. That's going to kind of take some of those oils off and won't make them as harsh, make them a little more comfortable and palatable as you're eating them. Hold on a second. I just want to take this off. Our chicken is done. If you're a little, hesitant on when your chicken is actually done, the internal temperature of white meat, poultry, is going to be 165 degrees as an internal temperature. I like to pull it anywhere between 160 and 165. Granted, you're going to have about 4 to 5 degrees of carryover cooking. Can you elaborate? Yeah, sure. So is this too hot? Yeah, it is a little hot. Let me show you this pan real quick. This is a great pan. I love this. I live in an apartment building. We don't have a balcony or anything fun to have my own grill, unfortunately. And my wife loves grilled chicken, and I get so much crap for not having a grill. So this was my answer. This is just a grill pan. It's got these wonderful grooves in it too. It gets super, super hot. You can get a nice char because it's a cast iron, but you're not getting like that flame broiled, right? Like if I was to do burgers in the house, I wouldn't do them on this grill pan. I would do burgers in a cast iron pan. You know what I mean? A steak, I'm doing it in a cast iron pan. But in terms of grilling chicken, this thing works great. I absolutely love it. Again, cast iron, so it holds the heat evenly, distributes it evenly throughout the entire, pan. This is by Lodge. Lodge is like the king of all cast iron. And I don't know if I can drop prices. I think that pan cost me about like $25, something like that. And it's a Lodge. It's cast iron. I'll have that pan. My kids will have that pan. We'll have that pan forever. It's great. Back to my onion. So my onion. Again, you could rinse this a little bit in some cold water to rinse off some of those oils that sometimes make you cry. Or a lot of people actually don't know this. Instead of cutting your onion this way, cut your onion this way. There are more cell walls that go this way than they do going this way. So by slicing it this way, again, we're just eating this raw. It's no biggie on the size or anything like that. You're damaging or bursting fewer cell walls. That way, it won't be as harsh, and you actually won't cry as much as you're cutting this onion. I personally don't like small diced onion because sometimes maybe in a bite, I don't want an onion, and I don't want to bite into a little hidden rogue onion that I didn't see. This way keeps them a little larger, still keeps them thin where it's not too harsh, but I can actually see what's going in my mouth, right? So we're just going to do like a nice little thin julienne on this onion. Again, thin. Okay. Some onion in there. Beautiful. And again, guys, I have measurements for this salad. That is a tried and true measurements, but make the salad work for you. Maybe you like a lot of avocado. Add more. There's really no rules to this. The dressing, I would try and stay as true as possible. But if there's some veggies in here you like more than others, by all means, please enjoy yourself, right? Okay. So lastly, I have my romaine. Now I'm alone tonight, so it's just going to be me. I'm not going to make a bunch of salad. Salad doesn't hold too well. The components individually will, but once you dress it in lettuce, it doesn't really hold too well. So I'm only going to be doing one bunch of romaine. This is my favorite way of cutting romaine, right? I cut one side all the way down in half, and then you do a quarter turn You cut the other side. So essentially, you just made a cross with your cuts, right? Now all you got to do is run a knife down the side like this. Nice, crunchy, crispy lettuce. Love that. Garbage bowl. And you got these beautiful quartered pieces. Perfect size every time. All right. Our final component is going to be our dressing. We're just going to do a basic 2-to-1 dressing, 2 parts oil, 1 part acid. This acid is going to be, or the acid in this instance is going to be lime juice. I'm going to play off of that Southwest flavor, right? So I'm going to add my lime first into this bowl. Nice. What's up, chat? Where are we from? Where's everyone cooking from? I'm in New York. Are you in New York? Are you on the east side? Are you guys tuning in a little bit earlier in your day? Are you on the west side? Let me know. I want to know. How you slice the lettuce. Of course I can say again how I slice the lettuce. So unfortunately, this is what I'm going to have to use, right? This little guy. Imagine this bigger, okay? Fort Myers, Oregon. I love it, guys. I love it. Cali, Maryland. There's an East Coast. So you want to go this way and then literally just like turn it once a quarter and then go the other way. So essentially what you just made is a cross going through the entirety. You can kind of see it here, right? See this like cross, these 4 openings? Oh, perfect example right there, okay? Then you're going to take your knife and you're going to go this way. So then you have these nice little quartered pieces like so. Super simple. Again, keeping in mind the size of our fork. I can't stress that enough. It's the little details like that that go into cooking that really gives somebody a memorable experience of the food you're giving them. Because there's thought that's going into it. You know, it's not just like, oh yeah, I make really good chicken, here you go. Well, even the way you're eating it, I took into consideration. I don't know. I personally like a little bit of sweetness in my mix. So I'm just going to take a little bit of honey. I'm going to whisk that about a teaspoon or so. And I'm going to whisk that into our, look at this giant whisk. That is not the whisk I want to use. Lucky for me, we're in a commercial kitchen and I have a baby whisk. All right, so we're just going to whisk our honey and our lime juice together while slowly streaming in some olive oil. But yeah, anytime you're making any dressing, if you need to make a dressing on the fly, it's just 2-to-1. 2 parts oil, 1 part vinegar, acid, whatever it is you want it to be. That acid can be lime juice, lemon juice. You can use balsamic vinegar, champagne vinegar, rice vinegar, a flavored vinegar, whatever it is you want. It's delicious. Just needs a little salt. Nice. Awesome. That's our dressing. Pretty simple, right? Where is our tongs? All right, so the last step that I need to do is just slice up our chicken. We're not going to do that today. There we go. So we'll slice up our chicken. Again, this is a lot of chicken for 1 serving, but I'm a big guy, so I'm going to eat it all. I'm just doing a slice, nothing fancy. Beautifully cooked, juicy chicken. Yeah, we're just going to keep this nice and easy. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Wow. I'll tell you, man, that anything spice is so good. I think it's going to go perfect with this Southwest theme that we got going on too. The black pepper in there is kind of giving you a nice little kick. All right. You ready to assemble a salad? Can't keep up? I'm so sorry. Well, if you have any questions, I can easily go back and, speed things up. And from now on, I'm going to slow down. Sorry, it's the New Yorker in me. We have our greens. I'm going in with about 2/3 of our dressing, saving just a little bit. Tomatoes. Oh, thank you. Avocado. Red onion. I got some corn. You can use fresh corn, canned corn, frozen corn. Just obviously defrost it first. Then I got some black beans here. Lovely. Give that all a nice stir. Make sure all of our lettuce is coated in that dressing. And all of our vegetables are nice and evenly dispersed, also getting coated evenly. Grab yourself a pretty little bowl here. You could dress everything separately or dress all of your vegetables and dress the lettuce separately and then go lettuce down and all of your vegetables around, kind of like the picture and kind of like a, I don't know, like a Cobb salad type thing. But I don't know, there's something about just like a nice tossed salad. Everything's going to the same place, you know? Beautiful. Big mound of salad. Finish with that dressing right on top. The rest of it, that little last bit, right? Then we have our chicken. Again, I am hungry, so we are going to load this boy up with chicken. Beautiful. And then I just have some cilantro here. I'm just going to kind of lightly tear it, just to go right on top next to it. I think it'll add some nice brightness to what we have going on here in this bowl. And guys, that's it. That's it. Super simple, beautiful Southwest chicken bowl. I mean, this is something you can prep easily during the week and then eat it and put it together throughout the week. I'm catching up on some questions. I'm sorry. If using fresh corn off the cob, should you cook it a little first? That is totally up to you. You can. You could steam it. You could roast it in a hot pan. You could even grill it first before the chicken and then slice it off. You could totally eat raw corn. It's not a problem. I personally also like it a little bit cooked. When you do cook it, it's going to give you a little extra sweetness as well. So that's a plus, right? It wouldn't be a cooking show if you didn't try your food. So the sliced chicken on each side is going to take about 2 minutes or so on each side. It depends on how thick you have sliced your chicken. We had a large chicken breast here that I cut up into 3 parts. That took about a total of like 5 minutes or so. But again, on the before you flip it, if you look around the perimeter of the chicken, you will see it's starting to get white where the middle or the higher part is still a little pink. That's when you know that's also a good sign to flip your chicken. So it wouldn't be a TV show if you don't try your food on camera, right? I went really high in this bowl, so I don't know how to attack it. Here we go. Beautiful. Cheers, guys. That's very good. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so light. That's like a perfect lunch or even like a midweek dinner. It goes great too as well. Listen, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all of your questions. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing this once a month, sometimes 2 times a month. We'll see. You can follow me on Instagram at theartofelating.info. If you have any questions, please leave them in this chat. I will try and answer all of them as possible. And I will see you next time with Butcherbox and Truffle Shuffle. Happy weekend, friends.
Memories follow me left and right. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do now?